signed on to. 18 months later, I had 60 co-sponsors because it became clear not only that everything I said was true, but that another thing I said was true, what became more evident, that Iran was killing our men and women in uniform in Afghanistan and Iraq. What's the #1 killer of troops in Afghanistan and Iraq, American troops? Anybody know what it is? IEDs. You know where they're made? Iran. They're made in Iran, and they're provided to the insurgents. They've been killing our people, our men and women, for years, and we have done nothing. We did nothing in response. There's a pattern here, and this was under Bush as well as Obama. There's a pattern here that the Iranians have picked up on. We kill Americans, they don't do anything. We kill American troops, and they don't do anything. I continue to push this bill. Let me finish that before I move on with Iran. I continue to push this bill, and I was opposed. I actually brought it up for a vote in the middle of the negotiations the Bush administration was having with the Iranian government, which I opposed, and said, no, we shouldn't negotiate. We should hammer these guys to block their program. President Bush and Condi Rice opposed me, as did the person who I debated on the floor of the Senate on this was Joe Biden. I always say if you want to know what the right foreign policy position is on any issue, find out what Joe Biden thinks and take the other side. Well, I lost. I had 60 co-sponsors, but I still lost. I only got 47 votes. Why? Because President Bush came out against me. I lost some votes. 6 months later, after the negotiations collapsed, actually 4 months later, we passed the bill unanimously in both chambers. It was signed by President Bush. So I just share with you that someone has been out there, past performance, predictor of future success. Someone's been out there on national security on the biggest issues of the day. Someone's been out there on moral cultural issues, the biggest issues of the day. Someone's been out there on entitlement reform, tax reform, the biggest issues of the day, creating economic growth. Bill Kristol went on a radio program just before I was on yesterday, Laura Ingraham, and saying, well, you know, one of the reasons Rick Santorum isn't catching on is because he spends too much time talking about the past. He said, you know, people want to hear about the future. And my response to that, I didn't respond, obviously he was on the radio, I couldn't talk to him. My response to that is, yeah, if I were these other candidates, I wouldn't talk about the past either. Because their path isn't as consistent as mine was going forward. So I believe that what the folks in Iowa want, what the people of America want, they want a clear contrast with Barack Obama, and they want someone they can trust. Someone who says they're going to do something, not because it's what you want to hear now. Everybody's a conservative now. Everybody's trying to be the most conservative candidate out there. Everybody's right down the line. Oh, I'm for, you know, constitutional and all this kind of stuff. Everybody says that. Was I perfect in the Senate? No, I'm not perfect. Did I make some bad votes? I made a few bad votes. But I never advocated for the bad things. I sometimes swallowed hard on a bill that had some bad things and good things in it, and look back and say, boy, I wish I hadn't, you know, cut that compromise. But I wasn't advocating for the bad stuff. I wasn't out there promoting global warming. I wasn't out there promoting government-run health care. And go on down the list. If the people of Iowa want to send a message to this country and do what Iowa does well, which is pull someone out of the pack and say, America, you need to look at this person. Because the media is not. You need to. If you guys become like sheep and just do whatever the media puts up to you and says, here's who you vote for, then you're not doing your job. Your job is to kick the tires, find out who the candidate is, not that you think can win, but who you know will be the best president.